Hello everyone, this is Rocio and in this video I'm going to explain the importance of time zones and how they work. As you already know, as a result of the Earth's rotation, it is daytime on one side of the Earth when it's nighttime on the other. So basically, time zones were created to make the time around the world correspond to the position of the sun. This is how the time zones distribution looks like. But how do we calculate this? The Earth is a sphere of 360 degrees, and as you know, it takes 24 hours to rotate on its axis. It takes 1 hour to move the equivalent of 15 degrees, because if we multiply 24 times 15 is equal to 360 degrees. Consequently, the Earth is divided into 24 time zones, which go from pole to pole. Bear in mind that it is the same time everywhere inside a time zone. In this map, every time zone is represented by a color. So, for example, Washington, D.C., the capital city of the US, has the same time zone as Bogotá in Colombia or Lima in Peru. Time zones are measured from the Greenwich meridian. This meridian crosses the city of London, which in 1884 became the time of reference due to its major importance as driving force for international economy. If we go east from the prime meridian, we move the clock forward by 1 hour as we go through each time zone. For example, if now Madrid is 12 o'clock, Moscow is 2 p.m. because the Russian capital city is 2 time zones forward. On the contrary, if we go west, we move the clock back by 1 hour as we go through each time zone. For example, if Madrid is 12 o'clock, Sao Paulo in Brazil is 8 a.m. because it is 4 time zones backwards. However, some time zones are not as logical. Some of them are influenced by political factors. For example, some countries like China and Argentina have the same time across the whole country, even though they are in more than one time zone. Other countries, such as the United States, have several time zones, which is a more realistic way to determine people's routines according to the sun's position. Oddly enough, countries such as Spain follows a different time zone. Look at the map. Spain has the same time zone as Germany and Italy. But if you look closely, you can see that Spain should follow the same time zone as the UK. How is that possible? As we've said previously, some time zones are influenced by political factors. In 1940, the Spanish dictator Francisco Franco changed the time zone of Spain by changing the Greenwich Mean Time to Central European Time during the Second World War. Why? Basically because Franco wanted to be in line with Nazi Germany and the fascist Italy of the time. Yes, Spain is no longer a dictatorship. So you might be wondering, why don't we get back to the Greenwich Mean Time? Well, as I said, this is politics. And unfortunately, this is not a primary issue to be discussed by politicians nowadays. Okay, after listening to all this theory, let's do some practice. First, look at the map and answer the following questions. Question 1. Imagine that you fly from San Francisco to Paris at 6 a.m. How many time zones will you cross? Exactly, 9 time zones. If the flight lasts 13 hours, do you put your watch forward or backward when you arrive? That's correct. You must put your watch forward because you will arrive at 4 a.m. of the next day. Question 2. Now imagine that you take a flight from Barcelona at 10 a.m. and arrive in New York 8 hours later. What time do you arrive in local time? A. At 6 p.m. B. at 12 o'clock. C. At 4 a.m. The right option is B. At 12 o'clock. In case you're wondering why, the answer is simple. If you take a flight at 10 a.m. and you're flying for 8 hours, you will arrive at 6 p.m. But remember that there is a difference of 6 time zones between Barcelona and New York. Then you must move your watch backwards to 12 o'clock. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching and I hope it was useful for you. Have a nice day.